1984. In the year 1984, the world was divided into three superstates, locked in perpetual war. In Oceania, life was ruled by the omnipresent figure of Big Brother, whose gaze watched from poster and telescreens. The party controlled everything: history, language, thought itself. Truth was what the party declared, and dissent was unthinkable. Amid this suffocating order lived Winston Smith, a thin, weary man employed at the Ministry of Truth. His job was to rewrite history, altering newspapers so the party's version of events was always correct. If the party said Oceania had always been at war with Eastasia, Winston erased evidence of alliances with Eurasia. Facts were malleable, memory was treason. Yet Winston doubted. He remembered fragments of a past that contradicted the party's claims. He longed for truth, for freedom, for something beyond the grey conformity. Secretly, he began a diary, writing words that could condemn him, down with Big Brother. Winston's life changed when he noticed Julia, a young woman from the fiction department. At first, he suspected her of being a spy, but when he slipped into a note reading, "I love you," his world shifted. They met in secret, away from the telescreens, in hidden corners and countryside fields. Their love was rebellion, a defiance of the party's demand that desire be suppressed. Julia was pragmatic, less concerned with ideology than with living fully in stolen moments. Winston, however, dreamed of revolution, of overthrowing Big Brother. Together, they tasted freedom, fragile and fleeting. Their hope grew when they encountered O'Brien, a high-ranking party member whom Winston believed shared his doubts. O'Brien invited them in his home, where he spoke of the Brotherhood, a secret resistance led by the elusive Emmanuel Goldstein. He gave Winston a book explaining the party's methods: perpetual war to consume resources, manipulation of language through newspeak to limit thought, and the rewriting of history to erase memory. The party's goal was absolute power, not prosperity. But hope was an illusion. O'Brien was no rebel. He was loyal to the party. Winston and Julia were betrayed, arrested and taken to the Ministry of Love, a place of torture and re-education. There, Winston faced O'Brien again, but now as his tormentor. O'Brien explained the party's philosophy: power for its own sake. The party sought not merely obedience but control over reality itself. If the party said 2 plus 2 equals 5, then it was true. Winston resisted, clinging to the belief that truth exists outside the party. The torture intensified. Winston was beaten, starved, and broken. O'Brien forced him to confront his deepest fear in room 101, where each prisoner faced the terror most unbearable to them. For Winston, it was rats strapped to a chair, a cage of ravenous rats pressed towards his chair. In panic, Winston betrayed Julia, screaming, "Do it to her, not me." That moment shattered him. his love, his rebellion, his humanity, all dissolved. The party had won. Released back into society, Winston sat at a cafe, drinking gin, his spirit hollow. He saw Julia once more, but their bond was gone. Each had betrayed the other, and the party had extinguished their love. As he gazed to a poster of Big Brother, Winston felt a surge of devotion. He no longer resisted. He no longer doubted. He loved Big Brother. 1984.